High Speed 2, The Getaway. Hello, I am the many-talented Mr. Jefferson, and this is the third Williams Pack 1 review and guide. We learned how to end the reign of pain on Medieval Madness, and we managed to escape from the junkyard. So now it's time to put the pedal to the metal on High Speed 2, The Getaway. I had been promising the Williams Pack 1 guides for a while, and I explained why they took so long in the Medieval Madness review and also the Junkyard review, so I will not rehash that again. These videos are long enough already, but again, like with Medieval Madness, I am really glad I stalled out for a while because in that time, the Williams Pack 8 released with a table I have wanted to challenge again for a while. And that was the Black Knight 2000. Again, the story goes that I sucked at pinball when I was 10 years old. The end. The two tables I remembered that kicked my ass were Bride of Pinbot and Black Knight 2000, crushing me immediately when I launched the ball. That turned me off to pinball for a long time. But when I finally got a chance to play the table again, I fell in love with its shot flow and the speed, and it's currently probably my favorite table on Pinball FX. And now that I've experienced with Black Knight 2000, I recognize a lot of the elements in The Getaway, which looks to me like a remix of Black Knight 2000. I see so many elements present on both tables, but moved around slightly on the table and arranged differently, and now I can really appreciate The Getaway a lot more because I see how those elements from this other table that I love were repurposed for a totally different experience. I will compare these two tables after I am done with the guide portion of this video, but first there is some backstory to delve into about the table theme, and it involves table designer Steve Ritchie and his love of fast cars, and in fact the original high-speed table is one of the few tables that is actually based on a true story. Because it's all about that one time Steve Ritchie got pulled over for doing 146 miles per hour on the I-5 while driving his Porsche 928, presumably so he could afford to buy an even faster car, so next time he could outrun the police. In High Speed 2, The Getaway is the blockbuster movie glow-up of that first game, with bigger car chases, helicopters, explosions, and it's a table where hitting Redline Mania is really just the start. This is a fast-paced table, so let's hit the start button on the guide and launch the ball to set up the most important and difficult shot on the table, because the ball is going to loop back around to the upper flipper, and while there is technically no skill shot on this table that I can see, this is easily better than a skill shot because it will loop the ball back around to the upper flipper again, and it's technically the only shot you actually need to hit Redline Mania, which acts as the wizard mode for this table. This is a crazy powerful shot if you master it, and I haven't even scratched the surface of how useful it actually is. But before I can get into that, I have to explain the rather odd rule set for this table. I thought it was weird that I was starting at the plunger for once, and even then, I still need to explain the plunger even further because it's not actually a plunger at all. On the original table, it's a gear shift. This table has an odd rule set, but it's not complicated because the goal of the table is to gain speed until you hit 5th gear to start the wizard mode of the table, which is not a real wizard mode, and I have to point it out so I don't get corrected later by Nuclear Black, who watches all of these videos. Hi, Nuclear. So this not a wizard mode is actually a chance to collect super jackpots, which are worth more than a lot of players' current high scores. So let's figure out how to get there and do that. The one thing The Getaway is not is a maze. The layout is as straightforward as it gets, and it continues the theme of the Williams Pack 1, which seems to be placing a huge cool toy that players are going to want to hit all the time, and should probably be the very last thing they actually want to aim at. Or on this table, literally the next to last thing, because this toy is awesome, but it is very highly situational, like the castle in Medieval Madness and the wrecking ball in Junkyard. And on the Getaway, that toy is the Supercharger, which will whip your ball around the loop at breakneck speeds, using the same magnetic acceleration principles used in Super Colliders when it's activated. It has no moving parts, but the ball moves fast enough to actually rock the machine side to side. But this toy is not going to gain you the speed you need to shift gears. Accelerating your car is done by hitting the 2 orbits on the playfield, the outer orbit and the inner flipper orbit, which will increase your speed, which is displayed in the middle of the field using a tachometer. And when you shoot enough orbits to redline the tachometer, it's time to shift gears by using the plunger, which is an actual gear shifter on the physical table. If you've been wondering why you're hearing the table shout at you shift gears for the majority of the game, it is because you need to hit that plunger to progress the table. The outer orbits can be enhanced by hitting the in-lane rollovers to collect the current freeway value lit at the bottom of the table, and it can also be lit by shooting the same orbit twice in a row. Collecting the freeway value will advance the award, and maxing out the freeway award will award an extra ball. Shooting a left orbit followed by an upper flipper shot is called a two-way combo, which starts at 1 million and maxes out at 10 million points per shot. There are several target banks on the table, and I'm going to start at the most obvious ones, the traffic light targets. There are 3 banks of 3 targets, which seems a little confusing, but it's really straightforward. Lighting all 3 green lights will enable lock 1, hitting all 3 yellow lights enables lock 2, and hitting all 3 red lights enables lock 3 for multi-ball. And if you haven't started a multi-ball yet, the supercharger ramp and the ball saucer will spot an unlit traffic light, and these lights do have to be lit in order. First, you do the green, then the yellow, and then the red. The goal of the multi-ball is to shoot the supercharger ramp to light the jackpot, which can be used using the left orbit or the upper flipper orbit, which is easy to set up using that saucer I just mentioned. This multi-ball is good practice for Redline Mania, where you're going to want to do almost exactly the same thing for a super jackpot, which is worth a lot more points. The first multi-ball jackpot is collected at 10 supercharger loops, and after that, 20 loops are required for the multi-ball super jackpot, which starts out at 50 million and can be raised up to 100 million during multi-ball. It will be set to whatever value you build it up to once you hit Redline Mania. The Redline Mania multi-ball is pretty much the same rules as the regular multi-ball, but it also includes a prize tour with enhanced scoring opportunities and a super jackpot that starts out at 100 million points and goes up 25 million points for every super jackpot collected without an upper limit. The scoring potential on this table is insane. The other 2 sets of targets are above the outlanes and are numbered 1, 2, and 3, and completing either of the target banks will relight the kickback for the left outlane. Oh, you want to know about the right kickback? What am I, made of kickbacks? No, you get 1 and you'll like it. But either outlane will give you a special award if it has been activated, so enjoy your bonus points for draining, stupid. The kickback is awesome because it will usually send the ball to the burn rubber saucer, where you collect the extra balls, start video modes, collect random awards, and set up for a sweet shot on the upper orbit, which is the pinball equivalent of burning rubber by slamming on the gas while holding the brakes so the tires spin so fast that they don't immediately gain traction, causing the car to move ever so slightly forward while the spinning heats up the tires and causes them to smoke until the tires finally grip the road and propel the car suddenly forward like you just released the brake, which is what happens when you hit it with the flipper, allowing for repeated fast-paced hits on this tight, fast loop, which can be used to lock balls for multi-ball and collect jackpots and super jackpots during multi-ball and Redline Mania, and it's the fastest way to get to Redline Mania if you can repeat that loop. Shifting gears using the plunger will relight the Burn Rubber Award, which is collected at the saucer and includes some really great prizes. On your way to 5th gear, shifting gears will relight the Burn Rubber Award, which is collected at the saucer and includes some good prizes. 1st gear will award you 3 million points, 2nd gear holds the multiplier, 3rd gear lights up the video mode, 4th gear starts the supercharger mode, which is a huge scoring opportunity where shooting the ramp repeatedly will give a scaling reward, and lighting all of the traffic lights during this mode will award an extra ball. Earlier, I said the Redline Mania has similar rules to the regular multi-ball, but that's not exactly true. First, you get no ball protection, except for, I think you get the kickback, but that disappears quickly. So if you drain one of the balls, it's gone for good. Until the next time you hit Redline Mania, which isn't that hard, all you have to do is shoot the loops. To open up the supercharger, you need to shoot the Burn Rubber ball lock and then hit the inner loop, and then you need to hit the supercharger ramp 3 times, totaling 30 loops to open the Super Jackpot ball lock. This is not particularly easy because there is no ball save, but it's not super hard to get back into 5th gear to try again. This table has some very comparable features to Black Knight 2000. You handle the multi-ball in basically the same way by cradling and shooting at your target, which is really effective on Black Knight 2000 and on the normal multi-ball of the Getaway, but it is cleverly disrupted by the extra requirements of Redline Mania, which forces you to break the cradle because it requires both flippers to make the required shots. But it has an even better ball control method than Black Knight 2000 did, because that Burn Rubber saucer is magnetized, and it's designed in a way that it can stack and hold multiple balls ever so briefly, so you can concentrate on your other shots, and it will even hold the ball longer if the supercharger is engaged or an animation is playing on the DMD, which can give you a lot of breathing room and ball control, and it sets you up for the Super Jackpot shot. If you're wondering what happened to the Magnalock from Black Knight 2000, it has been relocated right here to the Burn Rubber saucer, where it is a far, far more useful tool. And that's the table. It's a really straightforward, fast-paced table with some crazy scoring potential once you understand how to find 5th gear. And after playing the Black Knight 2000 in the Williams Pack 8 and coming back to play the Getaway again, I immediately saw this table for what it was: a single level Black Knight 2000. Alright, so this is going to be a funny comparison, but I'm going to relate these two pinball tables to the immensely talented female vocalist Susan Vega and one of her best songs, Tom's Diner, which I first encountered on a bus ride to high school, and it had this really cool dance music backing her vocals, and it just kind of got stuck in my head until one day, years later, I finally figured out what the song was. But when I located it, the version I found was very different. It was the actual original version, and it wasn't just a little different because there was absolutely no backing music to it whatsoever. It's an a cappella song carried entirely by the voice of Suzanne Vega as she weaves a brief and charming story that could have happened on any given morning anywhere in the United States. The version of the song I first encountered was the DNA remix of Tom's Diner that took all of the original elements of the original song and reused them in new ways while backing the song with a pop beat. And it's this flashier version of the song that allowed the original a cappella version of Tom's Diner to gain traction and become her biggest hit long after it came out. But there is something even more powerful about that original, simpler version of the song that makes it more appealing to me than the remix, and the Getaway is that DNA remix of Black Knight 2000. All of the same elements are there, minus the upper playfield that I feel maybe broke people's brains and kept them from understanding and really enjoying how good of a table that really was, and remixing them into something that's more generally appealing, like DNA adding pop music to Tom's Diner. And cool dot matrix graphics and some more complexity that the new technology in these tables could handle, along with a lot more voice lines, which I had to experience so I could really appreciate the original work properly. Black Knight 2000 has the Skyway loop, which is nearly identical to the upper inner loop on the Getaway. Black Knight 2000 also has 3 sets of target banks, 2 for lighting up night and 1 for opening the ball lock up top. And what would have been the night targets are repositioned because there just isn't a lower playfield for them to exist on. And these 3 sets of targets combined are the traffic lights on the Getaway, which includes 2 more banks of targets to replace the lower loop on Black Knight 2000 and to replace the functionality of the night targets, which would give you kickback and magna save. The left ramp on Black Knight 2000 led to the upper playfield, where the upper playfield could be used to send the ball into the ball lock, and on the Getaway, both the left ramp and the upper flipper send the ball into the ball lock. It's actually impressive how similar the 2 tables are in their design, given the fact that one of them has an upper playfield, which you would think changes the whole dynamic of the table, but it really doesn't. Both tables feel kind of similar with their fast pace and the rhythm and the flow of the shots. Speaking of rhythm, the music for the Getaway is ZZ Top's Lagrange, which suits the table theme perfectly. Here I am talking about the amazing Susan Vega album Solitude Standing, and I nearly forgot to mention the actual music for the table, which is about a brothel on the outskirts of a small town that became the subject of the Broadway play The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, and the initial groove of that song was originally used by a hooker. Specifically, John Lee Hooker, the American blues singer, songwriter, and guitarist in his Boogie Chillin'. And much like Tom's Diner, the remix will always be the more popular version, and really, why shouldn't it be? It's fantastic, and so is High Speed 2, the Getaway, which is a table I've only begun to play because now that I spent time to research the rules, I know that my second place game was only maybe 2 shots away from actually being my first place game if I could have hit that super jackpot. And I was streaming at the same time, which is an extra handicap. It's a distraction, which is why most of the games in these reviews and tutorials don't have commentary. But I'm really happy when I do get to play a great game live because it showcases just how much fun the table is, and I had just supercharged my reaction times by playing the absolutely amazing shoot 'em up Zero Ranger, which is one of the most intense games I have played recently. This stream was later in the same day that I beat Outer Space twice on Junkyard for the first time. And I couldn't think of a better way to end this long-promised trio of table reviews for the Williams Pack 1, which felt like a weight on my shoulders for a while now. But each of these table reviews has benefited and been enhanced greatly from that delay because I was able to talk about the Dungeons & Dragons table announcement during Medieval Madness. I got enough experience with all of the other Williams tables to talk about the many past table references which appear in Junkyard, and I was able to compare the Getaway to a table that had not yet been released on Pinball FX when I had started writing these reviews, so I would say it worked out really well for me. The next trio of Williams table reviews are Black Rose, Attack from Mars, and Party Zone, which are in the Williams Pack 2, and there are a couple more Marvel tables that I've really been enjoying, so I might wind up putting out videos for Blade and X-Men when I have a little bit more experience with those 2 tables, and there are a lot of video games I also want to write about. And there's no real rush for me to get any of it done particularly fast, which allows me to work on whatever project I just happen to be in the mood for that day, and that's really the way I work best. So I might work on any of these projects, or I might pause to work on a second list of 100 games you should wish list. Coming up with the games was actually the easy part. Now I just have to describe them all, and in some cases actually play them for the first time because they look amazing and they've got good reviews, but I need that hands-on experience to actually follow through with the recommendation. And I just spent a whole week live streaming a different game every single day to get that hands-on experience for a first impression so I can properly talk about these games. But in some cases, I will be taking the opportunity to recommend older games that I like, because I just had somebody ask me why I didn't tell them Dark Souls was good, and my reply was basically, are you fucking kidding me? Everybody knows Dark Souls is good. And the reason he likes Dark Souls now was because I spent some time to actually teach him the basic controls, and now he just gets it. But it's true, I never recommended the game personally or explained why the game was fun, which is why games like Chrono Trigger and Dragon's Quest made the last 100 games you should wishlist video that I made, because there is an entire generation of gamers who may have never even heard of these classic games and don't know what makes them special. I am the many-talented Mr. Jefferson, and I will be back with more pinball reviews and guides and videos on a wide range of games from a wide variety of genres, covering the past, present, and future of gaming. I would like to thank my viewers, my subscribers, my channel members, and those of you who have sponsored me with donations or games. You make it possible for me to do this. So until next time, toodles. You have no idea how intense this game is. I don't think I've played a game of pinball that intense, and I've been playing a shitload of pinball at a really high skill level, and I think I want to run like one game of pinball before I leave. That'll keep me here. Oh god. I just did the cat boxes and took out some garbage and stuff too, so I'm a little bit like worn out. Plus I've been typing all day. I finally finished the script for, I didn't just finish the script for, what the hell's that called? I just wrote a fucking script for it. Junkyard. Junkyard was the table that was tripping me up. Just like, that was a harder script to write for some reason. Paradis? Probably. Is it Paradis or Parodius? I've always wanted to play a Parodius. God, this seems simple in comparison. This moves so much slower than that game did. By the way, that loop I just did 2 of, that is what you want to do on this table, is keep hitting that loop. And oh my god, I just hit it again. Jeez. You just looked up. It's a series that was made by Crapnami. Oh yeah, it's old Konami. You never know. Konami, he got in on Vampire Survivors. They might be up for more Paradis. Or Parodius, I think. Oh. I'm a Florida driver, baby. No! I'm a Florida driver, baby. God, yes, that's what you want to do during Supercharger. I just saved myself from a drain that was crazy. Good God!
Come on. Land where I can get some use out of you. Oh, come on. Oh. It's gonna be kind. Okay, that's fine. Come on, guys. Urgh. Give me that. Okay, I'll take that special. That's what I needed to do. I don't think I could pop it up like that, but... that's okay, I can still make the jackpot shot. Just have to get it there. That's fine, I don't care about that jack. Ooh! Haven't I already gotten like 3 extra balls? I swear I've heard that pop like 3 times. In fact, let's check. I've got 2. Alright, I'm shooting at... Well, I hit something. Damn it. Alright, extra ball. Oh my god. Oh. I don't think I will be using my controller. I'm glad that didn't happen like a few seconds earlier. Yeah, damn it. That's okay. Alright, that was not a great setup there. No, you son of a bitch. Oh, that was terrible. Hey, it was too early, but it still got there. Bonus is held. I love to see that. This is like one of the few tables where bonus is held is one of the most desirable things you can get. Alright, get that tunnel. Come on, come on, come on, come on, and pop it. Damn it. Not quite far enough. Oh my god, did I just get Redline Mania again? That was such a crazy shot. Yeah, in the driving section, I slam it into 5th gear, and then I just weave around traffic like a Florida man. Come on, don't fuck it up. There we go. Damn it. Is that another extra ball? For me? Oh, we're still doing this. Whoa! Ah, damn it. Bonus is held. Too early. No. Yeah. Come on. Don't you dare. It's like my 3rd ball won. I'm going to run out of them. That's how you do it. That's not how you do it. Come on back down. Don't you do it. I don't know what gear that was. Alright, that was probably for the best. I think there's an extra ball. And Florida Man's off to the... raises. God! Oh, I'm on ball 2 already? Oh, oh well, I'll get some speed at least. Oh, supercharger. That was way too early. A little too late, I think. Damn it! Well, I guess that's the end of it, but that was a crazy good game. That was almost my best game. I was like 100 million off or something, but like that was an insane game, especially for streaming. I guess that one's going in the video. I got a double Redline Mania. I did some great shots on there. That was such a good game. Oh. I need... You know what that tells me? I need to play more of Zero Ranger